Hello and welcome. We are with Nikhil Day, President PR from Genesis BM. Nikhil, thank you so much for joining us. What are the challenges from a PR perspective of communicating or using using social media?
I think one of the things that PR agencies or PR professionals have had to learn to do is actually reskill themselves, because when you move from an analog PR environment to a social and digital PR environment, there's a whole new set of skills that you need to have. And that has two implications. One is, as individuals, there has to be an openness, willingness to embrace that change and really learn what else is happening out there. And the second is that as organizations or PR agencies, there's a need to reconfigure, to restructure, to reorganize, to bring in new kinds of talent, because there's only so much that you can reskill. There is a need also to bring in additional fresh talent. And to do that requires, I think, an attitude and aptitude orientation. The attitude of being wanting to learn and try, and the aptitude of saying, okay, do I really have the skills to play in this new environment?
How challenging is it for you to convince some of your clients to use social media?
I think the challenge is more not in the arena of getting them to talk about it or engage on it, but to actually pay for it, if I may say so. So there's a lot of appetite to understand, there's a lot of appetite to dabble with it, but to actually invest significantly rather than a tick mark, but then making it central to what you're doing is changing. But earlier on there was skepticism, now there's a desire to experiment, and in a subset of clients we are really seeing aggressive adoption of sort of an integrated social cum traditional model.
So what are the arguments that you put forth when you're convincing your client to actually pay for using social media?
Well, one of the most fundamental ones that I think works is for the disbelievers in the platform, saying that even if you don't do it for the sake of social media, do it for the sake of traditional media, because today's tweet is tomorrow's headline. So if you're still sort of stuck in that belief that I only care about the traditional media, social is a very critical factor to, in a way, influence or play in traditional as well. But for the sort of others who are more experimental and want to, it's about linking it to business impact, right? So if you take an educational institute that we work with, which was just starting up, opening its doors later this year. So when they signed us up, they didn't have a campus. They had some faculty, they had some promoters, and they had an idea and a brochure. Now, social and online is a very, very powerful way to sell such a concept and an idea in a credible, convincing way. And I'm happy to report that they have been able to fill their first class. So their business brief to us was, can you use public relations, traditional and digital, to get people to enroll in our course? And they use no other marketing other than this form, and they're all set with their first batch signed, sealed, delivered. So there is clear linkage to business through examples like this.
Is there a difference in the way product companies deal with social media versus services companies dealing with social media?
I wouldn't make the distinction so much about product and service, but I would say the B2C and B2B environment is different, and especially a service industry within the B2 sort of C is a very 24/7 high touch environment. So your entire approach and the kind of both technology as well as team that you need to invest in when you want to build capacity to deal with a high touch environment like a airline or a hotel is very different from when you're trying to do something in the B2B space.
Three good things that three things that you like about social media.
Part of the individual, like never before, has transformed the voice of an individual who could have been just lost to somebody who can really make a difference. So number one would be part of the individual. Second would be speed at which it is moving and evolving, and the way that you need to deal is everything is here and now. And third probably would be the two-wayness of it. You are able to very quickly get a sense of whether what you're doing or saying is getting traction or not, liked, disliked, which gives you, if not ROI in a traditional context, at least metrics of measurement to understand. So those would be the three that I like, and probably I would say that the three that I don't like are also the same, because everything has a good and a bad.
Right.
So the bad is that that individual who is now empowered can misuse that power, and there is no regulation, there is no way in which you can remedy that. So I mean, if you take in our line of work, journalists we deal with every day. So if I'm a journalist who is meeting you in a professional capacity and interviewing you, and then I do a piece for whichever publication I represent, and then I use that same interview to post something in my personal capacity, is that right or is that wrong? Is that fair or is that unfair? It doesn't matter, because you can do it and you will do it if you want to. So that's why I think it's both sides. Speed, it's so difficult for corporations to communicate within seconds, if not minutes, because that's what the medium requires. But there's a compliance environment, you need some legal approval, you need some global approval, you need all
Right.
sorts of approvals. So oftentimes that's a very, very difficult act for companies to get right. And measurement sometimes gets only slotted into ROI in terms of very clearly, what is I'm spending so much, what am I getting out of it? And if companies don't define objectives clearly, then it's difficult to come up with meaningful ROI. So
Okay.
the three are the same actually for what I love and what I don't like about it.
So what's the most fun thing that you would have done using social media?
One of the things I tend to do, which I began doing unintentionally, but I think I now quite enjoy it, is I'm inspired by any form of a sentence or a quote that talks to me when I'm reading a book or watching a movie, and I often tend to then put that out there in social media, and it's really fun to look at the reactions that it elicits from my group of friends and followers. And just last night I put out a tweet that I liked. I used that on Facebook, and it went like this: some people say you're special, others make you feel special. And I woke up this morning to see a flood of commentary, starting with my wife saying, who are you having dinner with last night and who's making you feel special in Mumbai while I'm here in Delhi, to a bunch of other friends joking about that. So that kind of stuff is, I think, off and on where I enjoy social media.
Okay, Nikhil, thank you so much for joining us.